Hello and welcome to another audio analysis. In today's video we're going to be looking at the most recent track from the English rock band Caskets titled By the Sound. This is the second single the band have released over recent months following Guiding Light, and I'd imagine these songs will be appearing on an upcoming album which is yet to be announced with an actual date and title. Also with Guiding Light we did see the band return with many of the tricks they used on their first album Lost Souls, with the very emotive sounds that the band are very much known for. They certainly serve as a good gap between kind of those popular elements and those heavier elements, and really enabling people to get a good introduction to that style of music whilst also remaining quite unique. So will the sound on this track be super sweet or super sour? Let's take a look at exactly how it sounds.
Today to set this straight, so hear what I've to say. A few moments of your precious time, you'll never hear from me again. No, I won't go, you've had your say, it's only your regret. You blame me for what we've become, it's time you heard me out.
We can already see some of the typical tricks that we do see on most Caskets tracks. Certainly these long drawn out notes from Matt Flood, it's something that helps add that emotive side, and his voice as well. He has got a strong range and his ability to really dance between different styles, almost vibrating his voice with some of the notes as well, which really just adds that kind of almost quivering emotive effect. As well, we've got some really interesting lyrics coming in here. I've come today to set this straight. The idea of this is already revolving around the idea of relationships, as most of their music kind of takes that premise. It uses that emotion of effectively love to really build the story around that idea, and that's something we're going to be seeing again with this. The idea that you're kind of approaching someone for a few moments of your precious time, so it's almost like you're approaching an ex-partner that's really just kind of throwing all the blame onto you, and that helps to add to this emotive idea with the actual lyrics, because it's that idea of you're very sorrowfully kind of approaching, I need a few moments of your precious time. You're kind of asking, so that's again shown through the vocals, which I think is really good. And I like this idea of no, I won't go, you've had your say, kind of standing your ground when a partner blames you for what we've become. So already we can see that they're really tying in a lot of lyrics with this idea of this broken relationship. I love the end of that, the end of the chorus then, just really just kind of gets to the end, just showing that range that it just alters between just a singular note is really helping adding to that emotive feel to this track. One lyric I really want to touch on as well, by the sound here for better or for worse, which is a line typically used in a marriage contract. So it's the idea of commitment. A relationship requires both people to commit to it to really make it work. So I love that that's kind of thrown into the chorus, kind of tying in that idea that maybe if one person's committed, the other's not, it's never going to work. And to make it really last for a long time, obviously marriage is supposed to be a lifelong commitment, so to make a relationship go the distance, it has to have that commitment from both people. So really good idea to throw that into the chorus to really add that meaning.
I'd like to leave the suffering with the hatred and all its grief. Believe me, we're recovering, and the fact is I don't want you to leave. 'Cause I gave you time and I gave you mine, thinking we could struggle on. But you left our blood, left for them instead. Are you sorry now I'm gone?
And I love that we've got this idea of this push and pull, the idea you left our bed, left for them instead. So cheating is something that often will pull a relationship apart. It is one of the most common things that can lead to just this destruction of a relationship. And it shows this idea of thinking we could struggle on. A lot of people will try and struggle through a relationship because obviously you sometimes have these blockers, that lack of communication, and again that idea of not only one person really committing. So I like that they're kind of throwing in a lot of these ideas that can really tie together of this push and pull. Believe me, we're recovering. Even though they'd like to leave the suffering with the hatred and all its grief. And I like that it's all using the first person, this idea of I. It kind of allows you to kind of put yourself into Matt's shoes, and most people have gone through this with a relationship, this idea of this push and pull. You have this trying to give somebody a little bit of leeway, which sometimes can be taken too far.
Just another memory. When you wake up, don't waste your heart in mourning me. When you wake up, we're just another memory.
And I love with this as well, this like just these slightly hollowed out vocals, almost sorrowful style, but then all this the idea of moving on, the idea that this cheating is happening. It's kind of like a story that we're going through. You've got this relationship that's very push and pull, and then you have this cheating that's going on, and that's the final straw. That's what really breaks the camel's back. And then from that, it's the idea of don't waste your heart in mourning me. So don't kind of look down on the past. Don't look at the death of our relationship. It's this idea of just move on. We just kind of hold the memories, and you can see that through the visuals as well. This idea that kind of Matt's stuck on the outside of this woman who's going down the aisle to get married again, so moving on from him to effectively move on to somebody else. So it's this idea that you don't kind of just let the past hold you back with relationships. You do eventually have to move on. I love that just then we did have that layering on the vocals. That was a really nice touch to just really add to the later stages of the track. Just really helped to build it up further into the track as well, which is just so strong. Just adds that extra bit of power just to the final stages of the song.
When you wake up, don't waste your heart in mourning me. When you wake up, we're just another memory.
What a certainly very interesting track that was. Again, touching on some of the ideas that we do see in a lot of Caskets tracks, really using love as the main driving force for a lot of their music, and it suits the band purely because of the fact that Matt's got such an emotive styling to his voice, and the band really do help to back that up. They just love to drive this melodic sound into all of their music, and that's why I said they act as the perfect stepping stone for anyone that's enjoying maybe their softer style of rock and wants to get into something a little bit heavier. These guys are the perfect band to really help you just to really ease you in, because they do have those heavier rock elements, but they have that much softer side to the vocals. And another really strong track. They're a band that really just don't seem to really drop the quality on a lot of their music. We saw it with the first album, Lost Souls, and this album is certainly showing the same. They really do like to stick to the style as well that they are pretty much becoming known for, but it is, again, it's a unique gap in the music market effectively. There's not many other bands that have that similar emotive style to their music, and that's what really does help to make them stand out. I also really liked the way that the track acted in a style of a story, this relationship that's kind of been rocky grounded, a bit of push and pull, then there's that certain moment that causes that snap, that disparity, and then people to go their separate ways and effectively recover separately. So I like the way that it almost acted in a chronological order. They weren't bouncing all over the place with the actual meaning of the track as well, which is really nice to see. And just again, just as I said, another really strong track from the band. Really, there's nothing that really super stands out. It is a typical Caskets track, but it just shows that they're able to maintain this constant quality with their music. And if these tracks are going to appear on an upcoming album, I'm certainly very much looking forward to it. So that will be everything for today's video, but as always, please feel free to let me know your thoughts on this track in the comment section below. And if you want to see more content like this, then please do feel free to subscribe, and I will see you in the next audio analysis.